Good morning, all. Today we are going to see a small signal model of a diode. Actually, this is from your second unit, first topic. Now we'll see what is actually small signal, right? A small signal is an AC signal which is having zero average value. Okay, so that small signal which we are going to superimpose on a bias signal. So first, let me clearly discuss about what is bias signal. Bias signal is nothing but in order to keep the transistor mode in the active region or transistor configuration in the active region, we have to give the bias signal. What do you mean by active region? Active region is nothing but we have to keep the input forward biased and output is reverse biased, right? So in order to keep the input forward biased and output reverse biased, we have to give a bias signal. Now let me come to the point. A small signal is nothing but an AC signal which is superimposed on a bias signal. Clear? Alright, so small signal means that you are operating the device at a limited range of voltage or current where the characteristic curve is linear. Okay, if you take ideal diode characteristics, the characteristics are actually the characteristic curve is linear. Okay, but practically this is not possible. All practical diodes will not have the linear characteristics. Clear? Right. Now, so which are all the components will have the linear characteristics? All your passive elements like resistor, inductor and capacitors will have the linear characteristics. So what we are going to do is we are going to bring the linear characteristics in your active devices. Now let me see what we are going to do. What is small signal and large signal? First, we will discuss about small signal and large signal. The small signal model actually it accounts for the behavior which is linear around an operating point. Okay, so what is operating point? So your operating point always, that is your quiescent point or operating point, it should be in the active region in order to work the transistor as an amplifier. If your operating point or quiescent point is near your cutoff region, your transistor will be in the cutoff, and or it is somewhat up towards the up region, so it will be in the saturation region. Clear? Right. So the small signal model accounts for the behavior which is linear around an operating point. When the small signal is large in amplitude, okay, so you might have studied what is amplitude. Large in amplitude, the behavior becomes non-linear and we have to use the model which accounts for non-linearity. Okay, so this is the difference for the large and small signal model. Clear? Next, we'll see why do we use the small signal analysis. Actually, I told in the introduction itself, small signal modeling is common analysis technique in electronics engineering, which is used to approximate the behavior of electronic circuits containing non-linear devices with linear equations. Okay, so what are the non-linear devices? Actually, practical diode is a non-linear. Ideal diode is linear actually. Ideal diode characteristics is linear. Practical diode characteristics actually it is a non-linear. Similarly, it holds the same for your transistor also. Right? So the small signal analysis suggests that for a small signal, transistor behave as a voltage controlled current source. Clear? Now the input port of the controlled current source is between base and emitter, and output port, you know that it is a collector and emitter. Clear? Right. Next, a small signal model is an AC equivalent circuit in which the non-linear circuit elements are replaced by a linear element whose values are given by the first order approximation of their characteristic curve near the bias point. Actually, I am emphasizing here that a non-linear circuit elements are replaced by linear elements. So what are the linear elements? All your passive components are linear elements, that is your resistor, inductor, capacitors, right? So these will have the linearity. Okay, right. Next, so we'll see what is the concept behind small signal operation. The concept behind your small signal operation is that a time varying signal with a small amplitude rides on a DC value, okay, that may or may not be large. Actually, you might have studied in the first unit about the rectifiers, okay. So a small amplitude rides on a DC value. So what is that small amplitude rides on a DC value? Obviously it is an AC signal. Clear? So a small amplitude rides on a DC value. Actually your DC, it's a constant one, right? So DC is a constant one. So a small amplitude rides on a DC in the sense there will be a small AC signal. Okay. So here time varying voltage component, the average value is the DC voltage. Clear? Right. Now, we will go for the small signal analysis by step. So, how you are going to do the small signal analysis? You have taken an active device. Either it can be a diode or you can take any transistor, FET, whatever it is. But how will you achieve the small signal step by step? Okay. So, first step is complete a DC analysis. What it means? First, you need to turn off all small signal sources and then complete a circuit analysis with the remaining DC sources only. So first you take only DC sources, okay. Estimate the current. Here I am taking the diode as an example. Now I am going to take the diode as an example. That is what I am giving here ID. Okay, estimate ID for each junction diode. And the next one is, what is your step 2? Calculate the diode small signal resistance RD. Okay, so for each junction diode, determine what is your RD. RD represents, actually it is a dynamic resistance. Okay, so the dynamic resistance actually we are going to calculate from the characteristic curve of a PN diode, right? Now next, so dynamic resistance is given as eta Vt by Id. Okay, so this Vt value is 26 millivolt, and eta, it depends on the diode. Actually if it is a silicon diode, the value is 2. If it is a germanium diode, the value is 1. Okay, so the range is only from 1 to 2, right? Next, eta value. Next, now step 3, replace junction diode with a small signal piecewise linear model. Okay, the ideal diode in the piecewise linear model will be in the same bias state as the ideal diode in the CVD, constant voltage drop model. Constant voltage drop model is nothing but that is forward bias. Input is forward bias, output is reverse bias. That is your constant voltage drop model. In other words, if you determine in step 1 that an ideal diode is forward biased, then rest assured the same ideal diode in forward biased in the step. Okay, so we are taking the ideal diode only, right? Next, determine the small signal circuit. That is, what you have to do is turn off all DC sources. In order to determine the small signal, you turn off all DC sources. Remember, a zero voltage source is a short, okay, a zero current source is an open, is it not? Right, we cannot measure voltage in the short circuit. Similarly, we cannot measure current in the open circuit, right? So what you have to do is, if there is any voltage source, right, what you have to do is you have to short it. If there is any current source, you have to open it. This is the simple step to find the small signal analysis. Okay, actually you have a VDD, right, the source VDD, which is a DC source. Then what we have to set? We have to set 0. Okay, so there is no need to calculate any value for VDD. Clear? Right. Next, what you have to do is you have to approximate all DC blocking capacitor as AC short circuits in your small signal circuits. Okay, that is all DC blocking capacitors as AC short circuit in your small signal circuit. It means what? Actually, your capacitor blocks DC and it bypass AC. Okay, blocks DC and it bypass AC. So what we have to do is, if there is any DC blocking capacitor as AC short circuits, okay, so remove all blocking capacitors in the schematic diagram and replace them with a short circuit. I think you are clear now. Now approximate all AC choke in case if you are using an inductor. Okay, AC choke inductor as AC open circuits in our small signal circuit. Actually, capacitor blocks DC and it bypasses AC. Similarly, your inductor blocks AC and bypass DC. Okay, so that is what we are doing is here it is we are opening the inductor if you have any clear in your circuit. Next, now what is your step 5? Analyze the small signal circuit. You need to analyze the small signal circuit. So how will you analyze the circuit? Analyze the circuit with small signal sources only to find all small signal voltages and current. So what we have to do is you have to make all DC sources as 0, and if you have any capacitor as you have any capacitor, you make it as a short, and if you have any inductor, you make it as an open. Okay, and if you have any voltage source, you short circuit it, and if you have any current source, we can open circuit it. Okay, right. Now so it will likely to be helpful to simplify and redraw the resulting small signal circuit, since a bunch of the original circuit devices, example DC source, inductor and capacitors, may have been replaced with a short and opens, whatever I had given earlier. Okay, so the resulting small signal circuit can often be greatly simplified, right? Next, actually, I'm going to give a hint. Your small signal currents and voltages cannot and it must not have a DC component, right? So first what you have to do is you have to take the circuit. I will show you anyway. I will show you the circuit. You have to take the circuit, then from the circuit if you have any DC sources, okay, that you should eliminate, and if you have any voltage source, you short circuit it. If you have any current source, open circuit it. Clear? Right. So if ID is the small signal current through the diode. So I'll come again from the beginning. Your small signal circuit and voltages cannot and must not have a DC component. That is the main condition. If they do, it means that you have left on one or more DC source. Okay, for example, if ID is the small signal current through the diode, then the small signal voltage VD across the diode is VD is equal to ID into RD. According to Ohm's law, V is equal to I into R. Okay, so this your answer is what actually VD equal to ID into RD only. Okay, if in case while writing the Kirchhoff's voltage law around a loop, in case if you get VD equal to IDRD plus 0.7 or VD equal to IDRD plus VDD, that is absolutely wrong actually. Clear? Because what you are doing is VDD is what? It is a DC source, DC voltage source. We should not have that. Okay, so any DC sources you have to remove. Clear? Now we'll see that. See, actually small signal, I'm going to take a diode, the small signal model of a diode. The analysis of the circuit is then divided into two parts. One is DC bias and another one is AC signal of small amplitude, and the solution are added together using superposition, because the AC portion is small and the circuit can be linearized. Okay, right. Next, now I have taken a circuit with a diode. Okay, now you can see that here VD is the DC source and small VD of T. According to your small signal model, the first definition we have seen in the first slide is that, okay, we are going to superimpose a small AC signal on a DC bias. Okay, right? So that is what, where VD of T is some time varying waveform, right? It is a periodic such as sinusoid and triangular signal. Okay, so the purpose of this VD, that is the DC source here in this circuit, is to set the operation of the diode about a point on the forward bias IV characteristic curve of the diode. This is called quiescent point or Q point. and the process of setting these DC value is called biasing the diode. I initially told you that what do you mean by biasing? Biasing means the transistor or diode. If the diode should be in the on state means you have to connect the diode in forward bias, that is P is connected to positive, N is connected to negative. Clear? Right. So when if you want the diode to operate in the off state, so if you want to operate in the off state, so you have to connect the diode in the reverse bias. So reverse bias means N is connected to positive, P is connected to negative. Clear? Right. So you know this is your I mean practical diode characteristics. Okay. Ideal diode, it will be linear only. The characteristic is linear only, or you might have seen that ideal diode it is 0 up to the cutoff region, and it is a line over here. Okay. Right. Now this is your ideal diode characteristics. Now actually we have seen the VD, which is used to fix the bias point, that is it will keep the diode in the on stage. So that bias point is actually here. So whatever may be the signal which you are imposing here, this is what VD of T which you are imposing on your bias point, right? Now what you have to do is you have to find out the current. Okay, what is your ID of T? Right. Now, the total voltage at any time t is the sum of the DC and AC component. So, this we all know, right? So, your the total voltage at any, because we have given two sources. One is small signal and another one is your large, sorry, and the bias signal. Okay, small signal, small VD of t, and another one is your bias. Okay, bias voltage. So VD plus VD of t. So this is your bias voltage plus this is your small signal voltage, provided the AC signal is small enough that the diode operates approximately in linear fashion. Okay, see why we are going for a that is small signal analysis. Actually the devices which work in a non-linear mode. Okay, so we will superimpose a small signal and we will try to bring it into the linear mode. Okay, that is the aim of a small signal model always. Clear? Now, so we are going to write the diode current. Okay, so the diode current equation, actually your ID of T is, this is your diode current equation, Is into e power your V, that is your signal over eta by eta Vt. Okay, so eta Vt, actually I told you that eta is for silicon the value is 1 2, and for germanium it is 1 actually. Okay, Is into eta Vd by eta Vt into, I am multiplying. Actually what, here we have one more signal, Id of T is very much, the diode current which is with Id of T is very much greater than your Is value. Okay, so that in that case we are considering that Is as ID value. So again you write the diode current equation here. You substitute this Is into a diode current equation. So you multiply with this. Now your small ID of T is, do you understand what you are doing? Actually this is here your current equation. ID of T is approximately equal to Is into e power Vd of T by eta Vt. Okay, so this you are multiplying with eta Vt. Why we are multiplying? We are replacing Is as ID value again. Clear? Right, this is capital ID. Please see the difference. This is ID of T is, it is a small signal instantaneous current. Okay, right, and this is your capital ID. So your ID is the DC diode current. This capital ID is your DC diode current, because we have applied the bias signal which is VD, capital VD. Okay, right. So when you apply this capital VD, obviously you will have a capital ID into RD. V is equal to I into R. Okay, so that Is E over Vd eta Vt I am replacing with an ID. Okay, right, now E Vd of T by eta Vt. Next, So what we can do is for an e power value, we can expand the exponential term. Okay, if Vd of t is small enough so that Vd of t over eta Vt is very much less than 2, then you can truncate the series into two terms, right? So that is 1 plus Vd over 2 by eta. This is 1 plus Vd of t by eta Vt. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to substitute third equation in second equation. So what is your third equation? So wherever you have this exponential part, you just substitute it. And your one is, when compared to that, this one is very less value, right? So that is what I am substituting, right? 1 plus Vd of t over eta Vt. This value you have to substitute in the equation 2. Okay, substituting third equation in equation 2, right? So what is your equation 2? Shall I go back? No need, right? You have noted down. Clear? Right. Next. Right? So your ID of t is approximately equal to ID plus ID eta Vt into Vd of t. That we will see. Okay. So if Vd of t is small enough, we can see from this last equation that ID is the sum of two components, DC as well as AC signal. Okay. So we have done to linearize the problem by limiting the AC portion of Vd to small values. Clear? Right? So we have noted that ID value, right? ID value is approximately equal to ID, right? So when you substitute that exponential series in your original equation, you will get this ID of t is approximately ID plus ID over eta Vt. Okay, right? Now actually we have linearized because the equation, right, which is in terms with Vd square, and higher are all negligible. All higher orders will it is going to be negligible. Okay, right. Now the term eta Vt by Id, right, in the previous equation has which has a unit ohms. Okay, so it is called the diode small signal resistance. Now you please try to understand. We have taken a diode, we have taken the DC source, and we have imposed or superimposed a small AC signal on it. Okay, right. So what we have done is we have taken this eta Vt by Id, the term, as Rd, which is your, on the physical viewpoint, Rd is the inverse slope of the tangent line at a particular bias point along the characteristic curve of the diode. Okay, so Rd changes depending on the DC bias, because DC bias only fixes the Q point. Clear? DC bias only fixes the Q point. So here please note down that Rd changes depending on the DC bias. Okay, that is, if your Q point is exactly at the point which I have specified in the uh, plot here. Okay, so your Rd value is eta Vt by Id. Now if your Q point shift, okay, your Rd value also changes. Clear? Right. Now, see the equivalent circuit for the small signal operation of a diode. As I told you that if I have a Q point here, this is a large signal operation. If I have a Q point here, this is actually a small signal operation. Clear? Right. So for the small signal, now what I did, actually I replaced the diode with a resistance. That's it. So I told you in the beginning itself, that is, we have to take the non-linear devices, superimpose a small signal on it, okay, in order to make the linear. Okay, right? So what we did, we have taken a diode which had the non-linearity, right, in order to that is make it as a linear one. What we did, uh, we have solved the that is, we have completely eliminated DC source, and what we have done is, we have brought an equation which is nothing but we are just replacing diode with a resistance. Okay, I told you that all passive elements will have the linearity characteristics. Okay, now resistance is a passive element, so now diode is replaced by a resistance. Okay, this you please remember it in mind. Diode and transistor all can have, we can use it as a resistor and current sources and so many sources. I will explain you in detail when we go for the current source. Okay, right. So the actually it is performed by eliminating all DC sources. Okay, that is short out your DC voltage sources, open circuit your DC current and so on. Clear? Right. Now if we are going to solve a problem, then it will be very easy for us. Now for that, before that, now see what we have taken. This is your circuit, right? We are applying AC signal, we are applying a DC here. Okay, DC bias here, we have a resistor and we have the diode here. Okay, now when I am considering only DC, what DC biasing, so what you have to do is you have to short all your AC, whatever you have. Okay, right. So in case if you are considering AC alone, then what you have to do is you have to short all your DC. Clear? Right. Now I'll tell you, see, when I have a two resistors here, here VD, the voltage across the diode only, this is okay, because diode only we are replacing it as a RD. VD is we are applying the voltage divider bias rule. Since I have connected two resistors are in series, okay, I need to apply voltage voltage divider rule in order to find the what is the voltage across the resistance. What is the voltage across the resistance? So VD equal to RD over RD plus R into the applied signal. So AC only writes on VD. Clear? Right. Now, we'll go for an example. For the circuit shown below, determine the VD when V is equal to 10 plus, actually it is cos 2 pi 60t. Now, here actually uh, they have given a circuit which is the voltage source as plus and minus, and here it is 10 kilo ohms and here it is VD. Okay, so they have given the diode specification also. The diode specification is actually 0.7 voltage drop at 1 milliamps DC, and eta value they had given it as a 2. Okay, now you see here actually we have a DC source and a superimposed AC signal. Now I told you that while doing the rectification itself, that is we want only a pure DC signal, but a small amount of AC is present in the pulsating DC. Okay, so that AC here they are measuring it as a 2 volt. The amount of AC present in the DC is 2 volt. Okay, so the what is your total DC signal? It is 10 volt. Okay, clear. Right, now we'll go to the problem. Now, AC signal, we can separate the DC analysis from the AC. Okay, right. So we need to start with the DC biasing. Hmm? Right. So now assuming VD equal to 0.7 volt for silicon diode, and what will be the DC current then? The DC current is the total, that is VD which we have applied is 10. So if you write the Kirchhoff's voltage law, you just note the circuit. We have a VD, we have RD, we have VD and we have R which is 10 kilo ohms, and we have the diode. Okay, so the voltage applied is actually 10 volt. Okay, so what is the voltage drop across the diode? They had given it as a 0.7 volt. So what will be the total voltage inside your loop? 10 minus 0.7. I is equal to what? V by R. So what is V here? V equal to actually 10 volt which we have applied, and the drop across in the diode is 0.7. So the total voltage drop, if I write a Kirchhoff's voltage law in the loop, so 10 minus 0.7 over 10k, which is the resistance value. So I got 0.93 milliamps. So your ID is approximately what? 1 milliamps. Okay, then VD will be very close to the assumed value, right? Now At this DC bias, the small signal resistance at the Q point is. So what will be the small signal resistance if I can able to replace a diode with the resistance when we are using a small signal? Clear? So RD is eta Vt by Id. So when it is eta Vt by Id, right, it is actually I'll get the RT value as 53.8. So what I can do is, instead of a diode I am going to replace a resistance. Okay, right. Now what is your next step? You need to calculate what is the drop, voltage drop across this resistor. Okay, this resistor is replaced, that is replaced version of the diode. Clear? Right. Now I want to find out the voltage drop across this. If you want to find the voltage drop across this, what you will do? You will apply the voltage divider rule, because I have two resistance are in series. Okay, right. Now the AC voltage, now see I have redrawn the circuit here. The AC voltage across the diode is found from the voltage division rule. So RD by RD plus, that is the 10 kilo ohms into the signal Vs which you have applied. Okay, so the magnitude of the signal is actually 1 only. Right, so it is actually 5.35 cos omega t millivolt. Okay, so the when I got the 5.35 cos omega t millivolt, right, now it means what? Actually see here, from the discussion, actually I have a AC signal also. Now what I have to do is, in order to get the pure DC, I have to eliminate AC also. So now we'll see what is the percentage of AC signal present in the DC. Okay, right. So Vd equal to 5.35, right, milli Vp. It is a peak to peak actually, right. So where P indicates peak value and peak to peak subscript. Okay, 10.70 milli of Vpp. Clear? Right. Okay, now so the total diode voltage Vd is sum of DC as well as AC voltages. So Vd of T is 0.7 plus 0.03. So at the output I have a DC as well as the AC. See, always you remember that when we are going for a DC analysis, so you just that is, don't consider all AC signal. When you are going for AC signal analysis, you don't consider the DC. Okay, right. That is how you are, how you will not consider the DC, because in case if there is any DC source, voltage source, you short circuit it. Okay, in case if any current source, you open circuit it. That is the point you need to always remember. So my VD of T is having 0.7 plus 0.00535 cos omega t. This milli I am writing like this. Okay, right. Now so we will check it. Okay, whether this value is very much less than 2. Yes, Vd over eta Vt is okay. Vt value I told you that it is a 26 millivolt. Okay, right. So 5.35 into 10 power minus 3 over eta value we can take it as a 1 or 2 value, it depends. Okay, but it is depends whether we are using a silicon or germanium. So I got 0.107, so which is less than the value 2. Okay, right. So the small signal assumption is valid here. Okay, it means AC signal is present, somewhat AC signal is present. So as an aside, note that this circuit, the ripple in the voltage has been reduced at the output. Okay, right. Actually in the first diagram itself we have seen, we have applied a 10 volt and the AC ripple present is 2 volt, but when we calculated this we got 0.107. So it is obviously less than the 2 volt, that is you have a 2 volt AC signal present. So the ripple means what? Some disturbances in your signal, that is called the ripple. Okay, right. So 0.107. Now what we have to do is we have to see what is the percentage of ripple present. So what is the ripple they had given there? 2 volt. So what is the total value they have applied? 10. So 2 over 10, and which will give you the 20% of the DC component, while at the output of the ripple is actually it is 0.0107, that is this ripple value divided by 0.7, which is 1.5% of DC component present. Clear? And thank you.